Hello, hello.
Hello.
Helen Kim was pushed.
Helen Kim
Oh,
was pushed.
Yes.
now we're starting this off on Survivor 50. You people. Wrong show.
Okay, I'm
But
just starting with facts because there were not a whole lot of facts in this episode, Lana.
oh,
So I'm
there's
going to start with
facts. Oh, there's facts, and we'll talk about all the facts.
facts. Are
But
the facts are
the
there's a
facts are
whole
the
lot of
facts.
bullshit.
But hello, 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 you all, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her. And I do love having my cup mug handy with me, period. And you can get you one of them at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And if you look to the right of the screen, there is a QR code. You can scan it. It'll take you right to the shop. And you can get your cup merch there. And yeah, do that. Favorite the shop. Send me a little cute picture once you get the cup. That'd be cute. And I'll respond to you because I do that to everybody. So get your cup mug and thank you. Period.
Thank you. Hi everybody, it's Brook, and I'm passionate about pop culture. Look, we've already learned this lesson once this season, but what happens when you try to kill God? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And once again, as usual, to fight the regime, we are drinking a regular sugar-filled Coke.
Not to fight the regime.
Okay.
It makes me want to go get one real bad right now.
Bro, get one that big.
No,
I want to get it so bad right now.
I don't have one cold. I forgot to put one in the fridge this morning.
Like, I want to get one
It's
so
fine.
bad right
I
now.
know. I'm like, I hate you. Hi, I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay. Gay. No, I've got my coffee as per usual, and I needed a whole lot of it because what the fuck are we doing anymore on this season? I'm sorry. Like, what are we even doing? What is going on? Why are we even here? What's going on? Can we just let Sari Fields win? Thank you. That is my manifesto for today.
Okay.
Hi. Hi. And I'm Rihanna, but you call me Ree, and I just have water and I want to be hydrated so I can have some things to say about this edit. Just a little spoiler alert.
Where you're
Yes,
speaking
yes.
facts on stay.
I mean,
Mhm.
let's just be honest. Let's be real. But yo, yes, we are here. We are back. We are talking episode 11 of Survivor 50. And every week, it seems I come on this podcast and I say, what the heck is going on here? What is happening? What? But you know what? I'm back every week talking about how I'm still sat. I'm still here for it. I'm still here for it. Like I'm entertained, yo. I'm entertained. And we're going to talk about all of that. But before we do, we're going to ask you if this is your first time, welcome. Thanks for joining. We appreciate you. And do me a solid and subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel and all of our channels here in the Cup Network because we are here trying to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. And we are halfway there and we're almost halfway through the year. So we're chugging on this track. And so if people keep subscribing every day throughout the year, we'll get there because a lot of fun things happen for us and for you when we get to that point. So we truly, truly appreciate you if you would join us here and subscribe to this channel. If you're a fan of Drag or Drag Race or Eurovision Song Contest, we have 2 more channels in the network for you. So go, all those links will be in the description below in our link tree. You can go and subscribe to those channels as well as our audio podcast links and our Patreon links and all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can follow us on some of those links as well if you'd like. You don't have to, but we would
You
like
should.
you should though, because we're cool people and the Cup podcast is, the Cup Pod is a cool channel to follow, so go do that. But this episode, man, okay, we're getting back After the foolishness of that tribal council that just happened, we got the prize pot being doubled. We got a coin flip that kept somebody safe and sent somebody home. Mr. Beast was there, and all of this is happening. And people are still reeling, but people are mad. Some people, real mad. But everybody else is like, woo, $2 million. Yeah, yeah, $2 million. And two people are like,
Am I doing my best Joe impression over here?
yeah, I'm happy
Look,
we got 2 million.
The two people that have no chance of winning the $2 million are the only two who aren't excited about it. Like, let's just be 100. Okay? Like, what combination of Final Three do Joe or Jonathan win at this point?
Next to each other and Aubrey.
That's about it.
I don't even think they have a shot.
I don't even
have a
think.
shot at Aubrey.
I think Aubrey beats both
I think
of
Aubrey
them.
wins if it's them and Aubrey. Like, it has to be a final two for them to win, one of them to win. That's the only way it happens.
So why would they be excited about it being a $2 million prize? They ain't winning.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is that second and third place 100K and 50K getting bumped too? Because I doubt it. I doubt that. Like, they ain't winning any more money.
Like, I don't feel bad for the Honor and Integrity crew that Honor and Integrity is not working on this season of Survivor. I don't want to see any more of the Honor and Integrity bullshit. Like, it's so tiring. It's so obnoxious at this point. I felt like Cirie in this entire episode where she was just like, what are we even doing at this point? Are we on Survivor? Or are we at 500 Hypocrisy Lane?
Hypocrisy Lane. Baby, when she said that, I literally screamed. I was like, did she just say 500 Hypocrisy Lane in Fiji? She should have gave the zip code to it. It would have been on and pop. Like, I love that woman so much.
As if we needed more reasons to love Cirie Fields. Like, honestly, I'm just like,
you can't. 500 Hypocrisy Lane. I'm getting the shirt made.
She better be making merch.
Like, I need 500 Hypocrisy Lane on my shirt and just be like an arrow pointed at somebody. Just because what do you mean? And then even in this whole episode, when he was talking about it and his whole honor and integrity partner, Jonathan, was like, we might have to rethink this whole honor and integrity thing because this ain't working for us. Like, absolutely none of it is working in 50. This is 50 with people who've done this before, several times before, and you feel the need to, you go come on here and tell legends of Survivor that they can't play how they play and they need to play by your standards and your rules. What world are we living in?
Y'all remember Australian Survivor season 1 when they at Final Tribal, where it's like the whole moral high ground of it all, right?
Oh,
I will say this, as much as I am not a fan, I respect the fact that Jonathan has at least attempted a few times to not be morally superior this season. Joe might die. No. Because this is what he did the entirety of 48. And the only difference is, at least in 48, he was within a power structure where this argument made sense to me, right?
Yeah.
This time, you don't have power. You've continuously been blindsided over and over and over again. Honor and integrity does not win you a game of Survivor every time. It didn't win you the game of Survivor on 48 either. So, like, what are we doing? What's going on?
I completely agree with you. I've actually really kind of enjoyed watching Jonathan play 50, to be honest with you. Like, and I did not come in with a high opinion of Jonathan. I've made that very clear from the start. But I've actually really enjoyed him kind of learning how to play new era Survivor in this like really weird way. Like he played a very specific style of Survivor in 42, and it worked for the most part for him. But coming into this season, he's had to adapt because everyone already knows his playbook. And the thing is, we didn't know if he was going to be able to adapt and if he had actually learned from the mistakes he made in 42. I'm really happy to report he has not 100%, but he's definitely learned a lot more. And I've really appreciated some of the some of the risks he's taken, some of the bigger, bolder moves that he's been making, some of the, his relationship with Suri, I actually think is one of the most beneficial relationships that he has in this game. And I think ultimately, if either of them makes it to Final Tribal Council, it could be a winning relationship for either one of them.
I feel.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, Lana.
No, I just feel like he has learned, like you said, learned his mistakes from what he did in 42. But he also has adapted and fell in line with the old school way of playing as well as the new school way of playing. He is that good balance between the two because he is loyal. Like Suri said, old school people were like, we're going to stick with our team and that's who we're going to stick with beside. I'm going to stick beside him. That's who we rock with to the end. But until we can't. New school is very much more fluid. Like, hey, I'm gonna work with you, and I might vote you out the next week because you are no longer beneficial to my game. And they move in between voting groups very fluidly in New Era. And I feel like Jonathan has, like you said, not perfectly, because he's been blindsided a couple of times this season, but he has been able to adapt with the old and with the new, and been able to cultivate a decent plan for him, much better than he did in 42. It's not. He's still very much strong. He's very much strong and brawn, and but he's thinking a lot more this time. It's not. He's just not relying on his strength to pull him through. He's thinking a lot more. And I think I do agree with you. His connection with Suri and how because remember at the beginning of the season he was all on board with let's get Suri up out of here as quick as we can, and now he's learned and listen, like would you say Brooke, if you go for God, you
find out what happens.
Right, he realized I can't go for God because I don't want to find out what happens to me. So he's realized like, okay, I can't necessarily go after Suri head on like this, but what I can do is work with Suri, work with the, and at one point he's gonna have a chance to get Suri at some point. It may be, and if he plays it right, maybe it'll work in his benefit. But I do think he's adapted and played a lot better since 42. Not perfect, but better since 42.
Yeah, my big thing with Jonathan, and I'm not a fan. I didn't like him when he played Endurance. I don't like him now. And with Jonathan in this whole entire situation, I will acknowledge the fact that he is actually playing a good game, I think. And I think I think most of these people are playing good, solid games. I actually kind of want to talk about Joe very quickly because it just gets to a point where you are actively detrimental to my viewing experience. And I'm just going to be blunt. I need this, we only have a couple episodes left. I don't really, 2 episodes left?
I think so.
Joe's probably going to make it to the final 3, and he's going to get third again because this man did not learn a damn thing from 48. He's coming in traumatized by Kyle and Camilla. Kyle and Camilla both go home in the pre-merge, and then because they're gone, he's like, well, I beat Kyle and Camilla, and now he's thinking that his way is superior and his morality is going to win him the game. And it's not going to win him the game because he hasn't done anything in the game that is a respectable move. Hell, even if you take out the one big move the Honor and Integrity Alliance managed to pull off, which was getting D out, right? Which, love you, D. D had the biggest target on her back the moment she stepped on that beach, 1. And 2, on top of all of that, it was Jonathan who even started the ball rolling on that, not Joe. So if Joe and Jonathan are in the final 2, that's Jonathan's move that he can use to boost himself up, not Joe. Joe has been a follower this entire season. He has not contributed to any amount of social strategy when it comes to actually voting people out. And then he gets supremely tunnel visioned on one target, which is what we see in this episode and most other episodes, to the point where he's just not doing anything interesting, right? He is going to be a GOAT yet again, and I'm not going to be surprised when we're walking out of here in 2 weeks saying Joe got third, because Joe's going to get third again. Why would you vote out Joe? There's no reason to vote out Joe.
Nobody's voting for Joe. Even Joe's people who are with him is not voting for Joe. Like, coaches feels betrayed by Joe, so he's no longer going to vote for Joe, I don't think. And I don't think anybody else would have voted. I don't think Stephanie would vote for Joe because...
Over Jonathan? No.
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 Because the way he
integrity.
fought Jonathan in this episode alone would have pissed me off if I was Jonathan. I'd be like, enough.
If you look at the honor and integrity people, right? Assuming that Joe and Jonathan are both in the final three, because, I mean, I don't really, like we said, we don't think they're going to beat anybody that's left in the game, right? If Joe and Jonathan are both in the final three and you're voting for an honor and integrity person, why would you not vote for Jonathan over Joe? That's just my real question.
Yeah.
And I have one thing to add that, like, even if these people aren't bitter at Joe anymore in this idea, if he is in the final three, like, what can he even say about his game?
There is no game.
There's no game.
Like, and I agree with that completely, Ree. Like, ultimately, for Joe, like, I love I love his reasoning for coming on Survivor. I think it's a really, like, it's a great reason, but ultimately, he is not a good Survivor player. I don't understand why he was put on this season, other than his relationship with Eva in 48.
I think he was put on this season because they wanted to see how he would do without the relationship with Eva. And the fact of the matter is, it's still more of the same. He hasn't learned anything. And it's, as much as I'm like, it does, because I'm not like the person like, oh, it's too soon, because I think Rizzo and Savannah did perfectly fine on this season, coming straight off of 49. I just think Joe needed a lot more time to marinate and process, and because I think it takes him a longer time to process and get over things. That's just his nature in life. I think he is just that person that holds on to things and needs time to process it and let go. And I think after maybe 4 or 5 years, he would have been perfect to come back to Survivor and play again. And he probably would have did better, because now he would have had time to get over Kyle and Camilla. He would have been able to process, like, okay, this is a game. It's not a team sport. This is a solo sport. I can play with people to a point. He has to get over this. I'm only going to play with loyalty and honesty, because that's not how Survivor is made up to play. That is not how the game is set up. You cannot be honor and integrity through the entire game of Survivor. There's no person who ever went on Survivor and never lied to somebody. So, because that will get you kicked out in a heartbeat. So I think he just he needed 4 or 5 more years in his to get away from Survivor to come back to Survivor, because 2 years was not enough for that man.
Well, it's kind of how I feel about Charlie, right? Where they both just needed more time to process what had happened the first time. Because we saw Charlie this season.
Yep.
He was traumatized this entire season. Charlie was going to therapy, essentially. He had mass exposure therapy. He got taken out by the Riz God. Move on, right? And like Joe, on the other hand, no one's going to bother taking him out because he's not a threat, right? He's not going to beat me in the end. Why am I voting him out? There's no reason to vote Joe out. He will not come up with a single strategic thought in that little head of his, and it's fine. Like I don't need to worry about Joe. Why would I care about Joe? And you look at it just makes me think about the other people who could have been on this season in this slot instead of Joe. Hell, even new era players, even people I don't really care about. We could have had like Jesse in this slot. We could have had like Ricard in this slot. We could have had, if you want to pull in this like challenge beast buff guy archetype, we could have had Austin in this slot. We could have had, if you really want to piss people off, we could have had Xander in this slot. Like there were just a lot of options from the new era men that you could have pulled from that just didn't we could have had Andy. I would have loved to have had
Andy.
Andy on this season, but instead we're stuck with every Joe on Survivor is a flop. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Every single Joe on Survivor is a flop.
Oh wow, that's a take. Some people might agree. No,
I'll
Name
agree
a
with
Joe-
that.
I will agree
name a
with it
Joe-
though.
okay,
I
The
actually
only
would agree with it.
Joe on Survivor who was not up is Joe from Token Teens who got medevaced. Every other Joe that has been on Survivor, flop.
Well,
I
and I
agree
mean
with-
that's technically a flop because he medevaced. So you know
I
what?
mean, that he can't help that.
Well, yeah.
We've had 2 Joes get medevaced. We've had Joey Amazing Trumpleton. We've had Joe on HHH who had like one cool strategic moment and then flopped. We've had this version of Joe. Literally every Joe that has been on Survivor is a flop.
If your name is Joe, don't go on Survivor.
Don't go on Survivor. Period.
No.
Like, don't do it. Well,
Don't do it.
don't do it. Don't do it.
No.
Do not do it.
No.
'Cause
Joe, I'm so sorry.
It was
Those are the Joes I remember.
And when there's a Joe on 51,
and wins.
what about it?
What about
it?
And
about
wins.
And we're obsessed with Joe.
And we're
what about
obsessed
it?
with Joe. That's
But,
it.
but wait, it's J-O and it's a woman.
Oh,
Oh.
It's Joanna, but she goes by Joe because she's a baddie.
Period.
she's a baddie.
I don't know anything. I think 51 is filming right now.
It just finished filming.
It-
Yeah, it just
it
finished
is.
filming. I don't know
Yeah, I'll say
anything
so.
about the 51 cast yet.
We don't know, but I'm just saying,
Cast
if we
hasn't-
see a
as far as I'm
Joe,
aware, the cast hasn't leaked yet. It's just
I
that
don't
they
think it
just
has
finished
either.
filming. Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
if we have a Joe who's JoJo or Josephine, and she go by Joe, and she's a baddie, and she's like, I'm.
JoJo Siwa?
Or
no.
she's like, no, not her.
No.
She's like,
No.
no.
Oh no,
But
I'm so
yes.
sorry. You must call her by her government name, Joelle.
Joelle.
What if Joella gets on the show?
Just
Joelle and
the Salasian diva of LA,
Joella.
Joella. Oh my god. I would pay good money to see Joella play Survivor.
You know how we did that Big Mother fan cast about last
Oh
year?
my god.
We need to do a Survivor equivalent with drag queens.
Oh my God.
Joella has an automatic spot.
Yeah.
There's two
Oh,
people in my mind who has an automatic spot.
Lana.
It's,
And the other
it's
one's Renee
only-
Che.
I'm about to say Monet and Joella are the two people who has automatic spots for me.
Well,
Like,
Monet has technically played Survivor, so
technically, I need Monet on the real Survivor.
I
'cause
agree.
Monet wants to be on the real Survivor, and I'm like, Jeff, make it happen. Period. Anyway, we're off the rails. Back to 50.
are you surprised?
No, because all of you all are here. When you all are here, we do not stay on the rails. We just don't. And I love it for all of us for that reason. But yes, back to 50, back to 50. So Rick is feeling good. Rick is feeling good, and he's like waking up with like bling. Good morning. He jumping, he doing cartwheels and flips, and he like, it's a beautiful day to be alive or Survivor. I'm having a great time. I'm like, you better have fun, Rick Devens. Have all the fun in the world.
I
I
have
love this
never felt more cringe watching Survivor in my entire life. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was like,
I loved it.
I simultaneously was like, I am happy for you because I know there are few pleasures on Survivor,
Yeah.
but also like, baby, why did you have to go around swinging the water around? Like that was that. I'm like, what are we doing here?
He wanted
Like,
his singing in the rain moment. I'm singing in the rain. Cha, cha, baby. That man was having a good time. And I said, you know what, Rick Devens, you feel your boy
This
joy.
is-
Feel your
this
boy
is-
joy.
this is the one time where the edit was actually good this episode before it went off the
Yeah.
rails because the edit, like, it was like, yes, yes, yes.
This is hilarious.
Everybody.
Yes, yes, we're killing it. $2 million.
People like, yeah, good morning, everybody. I was like,
And I loved every moment of it.
It's so funny. So funny. It was the funniest thing I ever seen. And I was like, I love Rick Devens living in his boy joy moment. Just have it, do it, live it, be happy. But he also is happy because he know he gonna be safe because he has an idol in his pocket that everybody saw him get. So it was like, period. And you know what? Everybody see him get the idol, and his idol is not the most important idol in the conversation today. Not at
No.
all.
No.
Not at all. It's like, oh, we saw his, we know him. It's cool.
Yeah.
There's two more idols out there, and Ozzy has one.
And Rizzo. But
Rizzo.
Ozzy!
Ozzy, yeah.
Has one. Rizzo has one too, but Ozzy.
And this is how the RIZGOD is going to win this season because no one is looking at him.
I said, okay, I see what's happening, and everybody's talking about Ozzy's idol. Everybody is Ozzy. Ozzy is on the brain. Ozzy is on the lips. It's Ozzy mania out there, and his idol is the most important idol. Rick has an idol. Rizzo has an idol. But Ozzy, your idol, his idol is huge. And it's like, so what do we got to do? And Devins and Emily are like, I mean, there's talk of idols. And we could go, make a move. But I think we should make a bigger move. And I was like, what bigger move? What bigger move we talking about here? And they said, what if? And they looking at each other, knowing they got the same name on their lips. But they're like, should we say it? And they're like, three? That's what I was thinking. And I was like, Stephanie, count your days. That was literally what I said. I said, Stephanie, count your days. Because if this happens, I hope you cough in 2 days. I hope you cough in 2 days. Because what do you mean? You are about to ruin everything for me. What do you mean you're about to ruin everything for me? Because the one time I see an exit interview, it's yours. And you, okay. All right, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. But I knew Cerie's name was going to come up. Because why wouldn't it come up? She is Cerie Mother Fields. Like, why wouldn't it come up? But they're like, maybe it's time to do Cerie. And Rick is like, I mean, she did switch up on the Sela 4. I'm like, really? Who is Sela 4? Who is Sela again? What tribe is Sela again? What colors were they?
Are we going to act like they did not try to just straight up replace her with Aubrey? Because they definitely did.
Hello!
Yeah.
I'm just saying, this is no shade to them because I know from an island perspective, they may not recognize that in the moment. And this might just be them trying to justify going after her instead of it being just an arbitrary decision. But they did switch it up on Cerie first by basically, because one, they didn't tell her about Aubrey, them giving an idol to Aubrey, but they told Emily about it. So who was really in it for? Cerie was your placeholder until you got with your other member of the Nerd Herd. Let's just be honest, okay? Love Herd. I love all 4 members of the Nerd Herd. But Diva, you all did this, okay? This was she might have voted Christian out of the game along with literally everyone else on the cast, mind you. Well, most of the cast. But you also have to understand she's not going to stick her neck out for Christian. She's not going to really stick her neck out for most people. That's kind of how she works.
I just found it so odd that I was like, Sela for who? What color was Sela again? When was Sela again? Like, what did we? It just that was so long ago.
Who is what Sela? Is where is
Who is Sela at this point? Like, let's see.
I do find it quite funny that at this final 9, after Sela being the disaster by the beginning of the season, they make up 5 members of this final 9. Like, that's kind of iconic. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But they're looking at Cerie because that's the biggest move to make. They're not wrong. Let me be honest. They're not wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, because how I feel, and I'm sure I can speak for the four of us here as how we feel. Like, don't go for Sari, period. Like, ever. Like, I don't care if it's the right move. I don't want you to do the right thing in that moment in time. But they're going for Sari, and but Tiffany is also looking at Ozzy, and Tiffany is telling Sari that maybe we should start looking at Ozzy because of this idol and how strong he is in these competitions, blah blah blah. And Sari's like, I mean, I can see it definitely. She's agreeing, but in her mind, she's like, no, 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 no. I don't want to do that. Ozzy's my number one. Why would I do that? That's crazy. So no, we're not gonna do that. And for that part, I'm like, well, Sari's gonna handle it because Sari always handles everything. She handles all things on that beach, and people know it because they're saying it. Like Sari is running the beach because she is, and y'all know she is, and y'all too scared to do something about it, except for Emily and Rick. They were the ones who said that's where we should go. All of this, it was a lot of talking before this challenge. A lot of we got a long because I think they have, of course, they have to stretch it out the whole hour. But we got a lot of talking and a lot of, feel. We got emotion. This was an emotional episode. We got a lot of emotions going
Yeah.
on in this episode too. Rick and
Mhm.
Ozzy's conversation where they're talking about being a dad and uh how they're feeling about being here on this game and why they're here, and because the family letters are still there, so everybody's still going back and forth to their letters and getting emotional. And Rick was talking about how he just his past and everything, how he was like, I just always felt the need to do, but once I became a dad, it was like my whole mindset shifted. And Ozzy's like, how'd you know you want to be a dad? I think Ozzy wants to be a dad. And he's like, I don't think he realized how much he wanted to be a dad until he's like, how'd you know? That's wow. And Ozzy's talking about how he's coming in playing, he wants to be Oscar, not Ozzy. He wants to be Oscar. And that's just so emotional. It was just so emotional. I was like, oh, it was so emotional.
Yeah. We did flashbacks and everything. I was like, are they going to do that? And then they showed Ozzy at Final Trouble Council. Like the first time, we forget about it, but the first time he played, he was runner up. And he said,
Hmm.
like a really emotional, we had like a bit of a breakdown after a question about his dad. And yeah, he was allowed to elaborate and really explain, like, and yeah, I really appreciated it. And yeah.
It made me feel like I did know Devins a little bit more because, like, I don't remember, and I'm being so honest, I don't remember his season very well. I'm sure I watched it, but I so many seasons. I don't remember everything, every detail. So I didn't remember the way he played, but the fact that he was like, I didn't get a chance to explain myself about why I said what I said about my dad. And now getting a chance to do that and was like, yes, he was a good father. He just wasn't there. And it was nice to hear that. It was nice to hear that moment. The flashbacks, though, y'all, the flashbacks kind of threw me for a loop too in this episode too, because I was like, we got that flashback with Devins, and we got the flashback with Ozzy. Then we got a flashback with Sari about her being voted out, not being voted out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The
Advantage
twist
camp.
screw,
She's screwed.
the switch, I can't talk right now. The twist screw jobs and
Yeah.
the idols out, and we got that flashback, and I was like, why are we showing this flashback? Why are we showing this? Why are we
Mm.
showing this particular flashback? And my antennas were raising with this. I was like, why are we showing this? And she was just like, I'm not doing that ever again. I'm not getting idled out of a game ever again. And I was like, why are we focusing on this right now? My spirit was vexed watching this moment. I was like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like this at all. And then I'm just gonna skip through. Let's get to the challenge because this is why my spirit was like, oh no. Because when we do get to the challenge and we find out what the challenge is, the whole standing on a thing in the middle of the ocean and whatever. And when Jeff says there's a twist, and I said, what now? There's a twist that you want this. You want to win this immunity. And I'm like, so are y'all setting me up? Are y'all setting us up for another Cerefield twist screw? Because hello? Like I was laying in my bed at first. Then he said the twist, and I sat up in my bed and I was sitting there and I was like, okay. And then we see the challenge go on. And the challenge is, like I said, standing on their little triangle horse thing and balancing in the water. The same competition we saw on Jonathan's season where everybody went out just like that because of the currents and the weather conditions. That was the fastest challenge in history. I don't even think it lasted 3 minutes, as Jeff said, 3 minutes. I don't particularly think it lasted that long, to be honest, if I remember correctly. But it was just, but the waters was much calmer this time around. There was no winds, no crazy conditions. So everybody was holding on to those things. And the challenge itself was just straightforward until we get to the end. Cherie falls first because I'm Cherie. I would have fell first too. And I would have fell on purpose because I don't want to do that. I just wouldn't want to do that. I'm like, why? I don't want to do it. So she falls. I think Devin falls after her. Can't remember.
Aubrey, I think.
Aubrey falls. Then Devin falls. Then they move up each time. And when they get to the very top, they're at the top. And it gets to the point where now you have to do it on one foot. This is where it's going to get incredibly hard for everybody. So Jeff counts them down. They do 1 foot. And people start falling left and right. Joe falls. Ozzy falls. Jonathan falls. Oh no, Rizzo falls. Jonathan falls. And Jonathan's the last one to fall. Then Tiff. So Tiffany, you win immunity. Woo! Good for Tiffany. She wins immunity. I'm like, yes! 2 in a row, period.
Literally my exact reaction.
That was my exact. I was like, yes! 2 in a row, period, girl. Go. She hot. And then we get everybody celebrating and she's, high five and bop, 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 hugs all around. And then these boats come in. And I'm like, what? Say what, son? And so the boats come in and they're like, we need to review. So Jeff goes off and they're going off to review. So now everybody's like, what the heck happened? We ain't never seen boats come in to review before. I was like, I ain't never seen the boats review before. What is this? So they come in, they go off. Jeff comes back and he's like, so about that, Tiffany, when I called for everybody to go on 1 foot, you didn't. And then everybody started falling and then you put your foot up. And so you are disqualified. And Jonathan, you win.
And like, I didn't even notice it when I was watching
Notice it either.
I went back and watched because I was like, okay, let me look. Like, I trust the process, of course, but I'm like, let me go back and look. And I'm like, Miss Tiffany.
She definitely didn't do it. She definitely didn't do it.
Certainly.
She definitely didn't do it.
Not even without a shadow of a doubt. No, not even close.
Yeah. It was like,
and
at
I'm
first
like,
I was like,
girly pop, what are we doing?
And
I wanted
also
to be mad so bad, but I was like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Oh.
To the
Mm.
people who have been saying online that the only reason they aired it, that they wouldn't have done it if it was one of their faves, we don't know what they would have done. But I will say they didn't really have a choice as to how they presented this, because they can't just call it of Jonathan wins immunity when you can clearly see Tiffany in the background of his shot still on the triangle platform.
Right.
Yeah.
This is pretty much how
Yeah.
they had to show it, because they didn't give us like a commercial cut after, oh, what's going
Right.
on? No, like they were just stranded and like, yeah, so we have judges here. It reminded me of when Burton won immunity on Pearl Islands, and then they pulled it back from him, and then somebody else won it with like the spelling comp on Pearl Islands. Like, this is just what they have to do. Sometimes they make mistakes, and sometimes the challenges aren't going to be called perfect. It's 50 seasons of Survivor at this point. You can't expect them to get it bang on every single time in the moment.
I'm gonna say human error is a thing, y'all. And the way Jeff was standing, he didn't see it. And the
No.
way it was shown as we watched it, we didn't see it either until they slowed it down and we had to go and rewatch it and be like, oh girl, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm like three people had fallen and Tiffany's other foot was not even off the platform. Like, yeah, no.
right.
No.
As much as we
Yeah.
love our
It
girl.
was,
As much as we love
I
our girl.
love Tiffany.
Yeah.
I was so happy. I was so
it-
happy.
Would have loved for Tiffany to have this advantage and this immunity instead of Jonathan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
However, comma,
Fair is fair.
fair
Fair
is
is fair.
fair. Yeah.
Fair is fair.
Yeah.
And she just wasn't there. She just didn't do it.
Yeah, and I would very much rather have them show that they have a team that goes to review for fair things. I think Jeff once said it in an interview. I have no idea where or when, but I recall him having said that. And now we actually see it, that they really do these things and they review the tapes to make sure that they got it if they don't get it the first time.
I feel like
And that's the fair thing to do.
I feel like the last couple of seasons of Survivor, we've really been able to see the like behind the scenes process of Survivor,
Yeah.
which
Mhm.
like I love that shit.
I do too.
Like I loved
Yeah.
seeing the boats come up and Jeff come in. Like the whole sea crate situation last season,
Mhm.
like the whole behind the scenes of that, I loved seeing. Like just the peeks into the world of Survivor that we get from them. Like I love that we've gotten more of that in the new era.
Mhm.
Because it does really show like just how real the show is. Especially because people still believe that it's not real.
Right. I think transparency is always good in every show where you could at least where you can be transparent. Like I don't expect to go in the production truck or anything. I don't expect to be in the production room, but I also expect to see if there is a challenge, that there are rules and things in place for if something goes wrong. If like this, if somebody didn't see the foot incident, that we have people reviewing tapes or somebody watching closely so we can say, okay, wait, we might have to review this and da 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 and have people. I enjoy that so very much because like you said, people don't believe Survivor is real, and that's showing like, yeah, we do have things that happen that we have to peel back the curtain a little bit to let the people see that yeah, we got to fix that and you adjust on the fly, because they could easily just act like it never happened, because watching it, we never saw it. If they didn't slow it down, you didn't see it from just one watch. You would have to go back and review the tapes like they did. If they would have said Tiffany wins, would I have been mad? No, I would have been like, yay. But fair is fair.
Yeah.
And we have to be fair. But Jonathan wins it. And I'm like, okay, well, not what I particularly wanted necessarily, but right is right. He won. And then when Jeff tells us what this twist is, my heart stops. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Because not only is Jonathan immune and have immunity for the night, we are separating the tribes into two smaller tribes, and two people are being eliminated from Fiji tonight, and Jonathan gets to vote in both of them.
split tribals suck. God damn it. Can we let this twist go? It is so awful and so stupid. Let the split tribal die. We don't need it. It is such a bad twist. Fuck off. It has literally, in its entire run on Survivor, it has produced, and I count, 2 good tribal councils, and both of them were on Survivor 50. Like, I'm just saying, this is ridiculous. Let this twist die, okay? A 2 out of, like, what? 22, 24? I don't know how many different tribal councils we've had. But most of the time, all it does is just reinforce old tribal lines, and it makes people just that were already on the bottom go home early. Like, it doesn't afford agency. It can screw people over who are in good spots and put them in worse positions than they would be in. This is so dumb. And it's basically just a retread of the Blood Moon twist that you did, like, what, 4 episodes ago?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? If you had to do a double here, just do a double.
Just do a double.
Okay.
Or hear me out. Crazy idea, everyone. Make the season 39 fucking days again, and then we don't have this fucking problem.
All these people play before, they used to it. They'll play again and they'll play for 39 days. It's okay.
And all of the new era people will get to play for 39 days because that's what Survivor 50 should have fucking been in the first place. Instead, you're making these twists absolutely fucking idiotic. Had I known as a Survivor fan that this is what y'all meant by twists in the fucking voting, I would have voted against twists. I would have voted against advantages.
I did. But here's the thing. When it comes to Survivor, I stopped. Like, there was a time period where I was like, I'm kind of over Survivor. And that was Winners at War. Winners at War killed my love for this game for about a year. It took until, like, the hiatus. I didn't really engage with Survivor at all because Winners at War was not Survivor to me, right? It felt like an entirely different show that wasn't Survivor. This is starting to get to that point for me where we have been in the merge for 5 episodes now, and we have had 1 normal tribal council in that time period. Wild.
Yeah. Can I add another idea? Why not just take a little page from Big Brother and do it like they do double evictions?
Oh, I would love that.
I'd be
We
down.
do. Why don't we just do 2 votes?
Yeah. Do it. You do the votes.
And they've done
then
it
you go back.
before.
Yeah.
We do 2 votes. The first person goes sit on the jury side, do like they do, and then we vote again, and somebody else is going on. Like, we could do 2 votes. We don't need to split the tribes up to do that. Like, it's not necessary to do that. And then then we see the tribes as they are split the way they are. We have Rick, we have Emily, we have Tiffany, and we have Suri. And I said, son of a gun. Because on the other side, Ozzy, Rizzo, Joe, and Aubrey. And I was like, oh, my God.
And I knew immediately who was going home. There was no doubt in my mind. Unless idols were played.
It was just like, this is so ridiculously crazy and unhinged, and I don't know what to say. And I was like, and why did we show Suri getting twist screwed again? Why did we show that? Why do we have her talk about that in this particular? Okay, all right. I'm finna be pissed. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm finna be pissed, and I know it. So we get back to the camps. Now Jonathan gets to walk from camp to camp, 2 sides of each camp, and that's where the other 4 people can't talk to each other. So Cerise's kind of just like, wish I could tell Ozzy, because I knew everything that happened, because people were telling her before the competition that they were looking at Ozzy. So she was like, I wish I could tell Ozzy, but it is what it is. We'll see. Tiffany is all on Ozzy's case, but they're not even on the same tribe. So now they have to try to figure out what they need to do for them. And Emily, Miss Flippin, said, I am not going out this game on day 21 without a fight like I did last time. So let me start fighting. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let them feel that Rick will give me his idol, will play his idol for me, because he likes flashy moves and he likes to, do stuff that's out there. So what if I convince them that Devins will play his idol for me? And then in the flip side, me and Devins vote for Sari. And if they think Devins is going to vote for, play his idol for me, then I'll tell them to vote for Devins and we could try to blindside and screw Devins. But he really going to save himself. And we vote Sari out. And I said, you know what, Miss Flippin? Decent plan.
Not a
Very
bad plan.
decent
Honestly,
plan.
Yeah.
this is an incredible idea for a
Decent
move.
plan.
I don't even think it's decent. I think with all of the information they have available, this is borderline foolproof, right? To the information that they know, this is a brilliant plan. Okay.
Yeah.
Because look, you're in a 5-person tribe. If you have 2 votes locked up. If you can deflect 2 of these other votes elsewhere that won't go on you, and you have an idol to save somebody, boom, congratulations. You suddenly have the majority in a 5-person tribe.
Yeah.
Like, it's a brilliant move. And without the knowledge that they didn't have, there's no way this doesn't work if they believe you about Rick. Like, literally, that's all you have to do. Yeah. And I don't think there is a single person in Survivor that they could have been gift wrapped to Emily that would have been easier to convince these people would try to make a big move with an idol than Rick Devins.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. They just saw him in this whole fake idol business, like, through that. So, yeah, they, of course, thought Rick is going to be the person to make a big, crazy move and not play the idol for himself. So that made sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is
lovely move.
Lovely. Great.
Big strategy moments. We're having like lots of big, lovely strategy moments. And then on the other side, hey, Aubrey, I've had a final 2 with Sari this whole time. I just need to get through another couple of days. I really just Sari and I have had an unwavering blood oath pact since day 1. And I'm only taking Sari to the end of this game.
So turns out Ozzy needs a shepherd from time to time. And by from time to time, I mean every day of this damn game.
Every day.
I literally almost threw my computer. I
remember how I said I was sitting up when they said Sari, and that whole, idol twist or whatever. When Ozzy laid out his whole entire agenda to Aubrey, I stood up off my bed and I was looking at, I was holding onto my iPad. I was watching and I was holding up like Simba. I was like, what are you doing? Ozzy, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
How dare you?
How dare you disappoint and you just go and under the guise of I'm being honest right now. I just want to let you know that I'm voting you. Like, what do you mean, Ozzy? You are going to tell Aubrey your whole forsaken plan and then be like, I don't know if I'm gonna use my idol or not.
Now here's my question. Why Aubrey?
Why Aubrey?
Here's the thing. Had he done this with Joe, I think I actually would have understood that.
Yeah.
There's actually a semblance. It's still not a good move. It's still absolutely idiotic. But there's a semblance of logic to telling this to Joe, I guess, not really.
No.
But to Aubrey?
Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. We need to be talking about this in the same way that we talk about Eric with the immunity necklace. We need to be talking about this in the same way that we talk about Tyson voting for Parvati instead of Russell. Like, this is unquestionably one of the single worst moves I have ever seen someone make in the history of Survivor. Like, I'm sorry, that might be a little bit of recency bias. This man
ever.
Like, okay, I want to touch on the other end of this coin, which is Aubrey knowing she's probably going to go home in this tribe because she has nobody here that wants to keep her, and the others are all friendly or friends, you know, bro code and all that. And she doesn't even have to do anything. Ozzy just puts this situation in her lap. And now she has all of the pieces she needs to get Rizzo on her side, to get Joe on her side. Jonathan's been wanting Ozzy out because the idol with that much challenge prowess is a huge threat. And when she has that conversation with Rizzo, right, I had about this much thought that maybe this would be Ozzy's out. Right, that Rizzo has Ozzy's back and everything would be fine, but then Rizzo's like, he's talking too much, and I'm like, yes,
you become a liability.
You become a liability, and now Rizzo has to cover his ass because if Ozzy keeps talking, he might mention that Rizzo has been part of this final 2, which is really a final 3, and then Rizzo's ass is on the chopping block.
Yeah, like without knowing it, Aubrey made maybe the best move she's made in 4 seasons of Survivor by having that one conversation with Rizzo. Like, honestly, it's up there for sure. Like, and obviously she was going to have conversations with everybody, but divulging that amount of information specifically to Rizzo without knowing it is what was the tipping point, because otherwise she was going home. Because it didn't matter. It didn't matter who else was voting in that scenario. As long as if Rizzo told Ozzy, Aubrey goes home. It does not matter what anybody else does.
Yep.
So and that just feels so correct for the way that Aubrey has played Survivor. And I do like Aubrey as a player. And I think what she did, like, yes, a lot of this was put in her lap in a lot of ways in this. I was actually quite impressed with the way that Aubrey corralled this move, to be honest with you. A lot of it did come from Jonathan, and a lot of it did come from Tiffany. I'm going to give them credit as well. But I'm going to give Aubrey some credit here. She put in the work to keep herself safe. She is such a great, scrappy player. And it's the way she's played 4 seasons of Survivor. She does not know how to play unless her back is up against the wall. And it's one of those rare cases in Survivor where she is just that kind of player that does not know how to play any other way.
I just feel like it was so like second nature for her to, and I feel like anybody, if you give me that information, somebody comes to me and say, hey, I'm probably going to be voting you out because I want to take 3 to the end with me. And I just want you to know, I just want to show you that trying to do jury management on me, because literally that's all that was. And it's like, oh, Ozzy, you didn't need that with Aubrey. You need that, like you said, with Joe. You need that kind of management with Joe. Aubrey would have never felt a type of way if Ozzy never told her he was voting her out. She would have felt no type of way about against Ozzy, because it's like, okay, duh, I do that. That's a given. You weren't going to vote to save me. I'm not mad. And if you made it to the end, it is what it is. Ozzy was so fixated on trying to manage her that he forgot that she was actually a real player too. And Aubrey took that information that he gave her and was like, also, by the way, did you know that Ozzy and Sari had a tight number 1? Rizzo knew it, of course, but Rizzo wasn't going to be like, oh, yeah, I knew that. No, he's like,
I'm part of it too, by the way. Fun fact.
But I'm part of that too. Like, no, he's like, what? What do you mean? That's wild. And she's like, yeah, and he had this, and she did, and she gave her the extra. Like Rizzo is hearing all the information that he already has coming from Aubrey, who should never know this because Ozzy decided to tell her. Ozzy has become a liability to not only Sari, but to Rizzo as well. And so when Rizzo was like, do I tell him? I was like, 50-50, bruh. Like, you can do it, and that'd be great if you save him, because I like Ozzy and I want Ozzy to stay.
Yeah.
But if you don't, it makes sense too, because he's screwing up your game right now and not realizing that he's doing it. Unbeknownst to everybody else, Rizzo is a part of that, but he is purposely messing up Cerise's game. And I'm like, for me, Ozzy, you gotta go if you go mess up Cerise's game, because no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
The trio of Cerise has been lovely to watch this entire season. Like, I have loved watching them. Like, in this merge, they've really been so great. And I know the internet has not been exactly receptive to this from Rizzo, and people have been saying, oh, why wouldn't he just tell Ozzy? People, you need to understand something very important, okay? Him telling Ozzy would have kept the trio safe in the short term, right?
Yep.
In the short term, it kept him, Sari, and Ozzy together. Here's the thing. He cannot beat Ozzy and Sari in a final three. If he wants to win this game, they both got to go. And as of his positioning right now, this is a clean way for him to dust Ozzy off and out of this game. And if Ozzy doesn't go home, he can say, well, let's just be honest here, Ozzy. I didn't know about it. And like, he honestly, if it were me and I'm Rizzo, I'm voting for Aubrey and covering my ass.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I was genuinely surprised. I think that was a genuine mistake. On Rizzo. I think it is the only mistake he has made this season is not voting for Aubrey.
Yeah, I really think he should have done that and just pray Ozzy plays the idol. And then cool.
Yeah.
Stop talking. Wait, yeah.
Rizzo can't beat Ozzy in the end. We all know he can't beat Ozzy in the end. Can't beat him in immunity. Can't beat him in final tribal. If this is what it has to do for Ozzy to get out of this game, as unfortunate as it is, and maybe it might feel a little bit early, let's say they do vote out Aubrey here, right? And he lets Ozzy know Aubrey's out of the game. Cool, awesome, wow, right? Where does that put the three of them, right? Because we know what happens in the other tribal, right? It probably puts the three of them in a good position to make it to the end together. But then Rizzo doesn't win. So what how does that help him?
And let's be clear. Even if Rizzo doesn't, or if Aubrey's gone, the information is still out there. Joe knows. Jonathan knows. And Joe might not care, might not say nothing, but Jonathan is going to go back and say something, and he's going to let everybody know that Ozzy, who is still in this game, and Sari got a blood pact moon to the number one. Like, that's his ride or die. And so it will be good for him to stay around this round. What happens next? Everybody, and who they gunning for? They gunning for Sari first.
Yeah.
And then they'll gun for Ozzy.
Yeah.
100%. And so it's just like, it was fine. If Aubrey still left, cool, great. It still wouldn't have been good because they would have tried to break them up now. At this point, everybody know the information, and everybody's going to go back and tell the rest of them.
Well, and what's interesting about that, too, is on a similar flip side to that, we hear Sari in the early part of this episode, too, before we find out what the twist is. We hear her talking about how people want to flush these idols. And Ozzy and Rizzo are two people with idols still left in the game. And we got this great confessional from Sari saying, well, I don't necessarily want Ozzy or Rizzo out right now.
But I don't want idols.
If I can get their idols flushed, that's not bad for me. And so, yes, this is a different situation here where unfortunately Rizzo's back is up against the wall. And unfortunately in this situation, like you said, Brooke, Rizzo really doesn't have a choice here. He has to let Ozzy go. And I'm excited to see what what I guess the damage control, for lack of a better term, is going to be with Sari next week. I think Sari is going to understand as soon as she finds out that everything that Ozzy did, Cirie's going to understand the move that was made. Cirie is no survivor, obviously. Cirie is a great game player. Cirie's going to understand the move and not be upset with Rizzo about it necessarily. I don't think personally, but like I see, like I've seen people criticizing Rizzo for this. But I don't see people criticizing Cirie for this either. And it's not the same kind of thing. I wouldn't criticize either of them for it.
I don't think either one deserved the criticism for it.
Absolutely
I think they both
not.
did the right. I think
Because
Rizzo did the right
what are we
thing.
doing here? We're playing Survivor. Like,
Ozzy, okay, this is the thing. We have had Oscar this entire season. Ozzy showed up for one episode. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
Ozzy showed up at the last
No, we
minute.
had-
Ozzy showed up at the wrong minute.
we had Ozzy the first episode and this episode where he got voted out. We've had Oscar ever since.
I was like, let's be for real. Like you said, Brook, Rizzo is not beating Ozzy and Cirie at the same time. It's not. And Rizzo does not want to come in third place. And so Rizzo had to do what had. Now, he could have told Ozzy, and Ozzy used his idol and blah, blah, blah. But like I said, what does that mean for next week? What does that mean for the next 2 weeks for coming up? They are going to gun for them. And it's.
Well, let's also call a spade a spade. We talked about how Joe and Jonathan can't really beat anybody in a final three at this point. They can't win a final three, right? Rizzo really only has a shot, in my mind, against Joe and Jonathan and maybe Aubrey, right?
I disagree.
Based on how everyone is talking about him, from our perception, we would vote differently. But how other people are discussing Rizzo and talking about Rizzo on the island, I don't think Rizzo has a shot at beating Cirie, Ozzy, Tiffany, Rick, maybe Emily. He could have maybe beat Emily. But when we're talking about, the people that are still in the game at the final 7, he can't beat most of them. He has to start taking out people that are ahead of him. It's the Adam Klein position of, I have these people I can beat and I have these people who I can't. Let me just start removing people who I can't beat. Ozzy is unfortunately the first casualty of that. He has maybe a shot against Aubrey. He can beat Joe and Jonathan. I don't know about. I can't beat Ozzy. I can't beat Cirie. I can't beat Tiffany. I can't beat Rick. If that becomes his new pecking order of, I need to take out these 4 people so that way I have the best chance of winning at the end, I can't blame him. I really can't blame him.
I'd love to put a pin in that because I want to talk about that after we get the eliminations because we've basically already talked about who's been voted out, but because it becomes a very interesting situation at Final 7 with who we have left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we do get to, let's just get to the immunity the tribal councils, because
could you imagine if we were an hour in and we've done it before.
We've done it before. We've done it before.
We've done it before. Lana, you and I have done it before.
I would say I've done it before, but let's get to the tribal councils. The first one was Cirie, Emily, Tiffany, Devins, and Jonathan. They come in, and it's like Cirie is already like, she was looking. She was like, I feel iffy about this, but I'm gonna listen, and if anything feels off, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. See what happens. And Jeff is just doing what Jeff does, just asking questions. What do you feel about this vote? What does this vote mean? How did and everybody's giving the answers that we typically hear. It's going to, it's hard because Emily's like, it's hard. I don't want to see Cirie or Tiffany go, but Devins has an idol and Jonathan has an idol. So one of the 3 of us are gonna go, but I don't want any of them to go. And Cirie's like, interesting. But the way it is, one of us are going to go because 2 of them have idols or an immunity necklace. So one of us are going to go. So that's just the reality of the situation. And she was like, and so it is what it is. And Emily's like, yeah, I'm still, now here's the thing. I was listening to everything and I'm like, where would my antenna go up about, do I use this extra vote or do I not use this extra vote? And I think my antenna went up when Emily was like,
the same spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my antenna went up as soon as Emily was like, but I don't want either of them to go. And I was like, but one of them will have to go.
Yeah.
So my antenna immediately went up when Emily talked about getting voted out on day 21 on 45.
Yep.
That was when my antenna was because Emily said, like, she's like, I got voted on day 21 and 45, and I've always been so upset with myself for how passive I played that round and how I wanted to be more actively involved in the game every time I'm at tribal council. And I hear that, I'm like, shenanigans are afoot.
You've been working too hard on this beach earlier.
And I hear that, I'm Suri, and I'm like, okay, noted. Because to me, when I'm thinking about this in my mind, if there is one thing you will never hear anyone say about Suri, even the people who are delusional and aren't fans, they will never call Suri Fields complacent, right? She is actively involved in constantly scheming and thinking about what the best plan is for her to proceed, right?
Yep.
You know, Suri had the thought of, if I can trust Jonathan and Tiffany, who I definitely can, because they're both wanting Devins out of this game. If they both put their votes on Devins, it doesn't matter where the hell that idol goes if I play this extra vote. That is just the truth. I have 2 votes on Emily. They have 2 votes on Rick. Whatever Rick and Emily do does not matter. We're set. And you know what? Can't say I fault Mother.
I don't fault Mother at all.
Can I say I think this is one of Suri's best moves in Survivor?
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
it's up there with the Eric boot.
Yeah, like I think obviously the Black Widow is, but that was a very collective situation. I think if you're looking at individual Suri moves, I think this is one of her best individual moves ever. Yeah. Honestly, because it was so, no one on this tribe expected it. She is the only one that knew about this extra vote in this scenario. She had all of the cards. She knew exactly what was going to happen. And she coordinated this masterfully and absolutely slayed this tribal council. And I hate that it's at the detriment of our incredible financial analyst Emily Flippin. Like, I wish it was almost anybody else on this cast, to be honest with you. But it was so masterful to watch the way that Suri played this. It was so incredible. As if I needed more reasons to stand Suri Fields. As if I watched her for an entire fucking summer on live feeds on Big Brother. As if I needed more reason to stand Suri Fields, and now I have 2 more from this episode of Survivor 50 alone.
Period.
Not to mention everything else she's done this season. Like, I'm so sorry. If she does not win this season of Survivor, this season is a letdown for me. I don't care about anybody else's opinions. I don't care about what anybody else thinks about this season. If Suri Fields does not win this season of Survivor 50, this season is a letdown. There are several other people that could win, and it'd be fine. And I'd be fine with it, and it'd be okay. But if Suri does not win, it will be a letdown. Point blank.
I would just like to go ahead and add, I haven't got to play this clip too many times this season, but Jenna did it first. Emily has done it now.
She found out what happens when you try to kill God.
You can't kill God. It doesn't work that way. Okay? Suri has, like, I'm sorry, like this, like Logan mentioned, this is up there, like this is in like the 3-2-1 boot on Panama are like her 2 like individual master strokes we have seen Suri paint in this game. And watching this tribal council unfold, I was like holding my breath the entire time. I had bad vibes this entire episode. I was like, Suri's going home. Suri's going home, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. Suri's going home. And then when Jeff goes, Suri, 2 votes Suri, 1 vote Emily, 1 vote left.
Oh,
my heart sung with joy.
There There was
I-
an audible. Oh, thank God!
The
Literally.
scream I screamed when
Yeah.
I didn't need to be screaming at that moment. I was like, yes, one vote left.
Mother!
One vote left, mother. Like
And
literally
you better put that sad face on there because I agree.
Yeah.
This is the most gagged I have been in a tribal council, maybe since like probably the most gagged I've been in a tribal council in years. Honestly,
Ugh,
like this is just
So
incredible,
it
incredible.
was so good. It was so good. It was
And-
such a.
And let me say this as well. I'm so sorry to interrupt you there, Lana.
Mm.
I want to give Miss Emily Flippin her flowers here because she took this with such grace and such elegance, and I do love her. Did she play an absolutely messy game on this season of Survivor 50? Yes, she did. She absolutely did. Do we still love her? Yes,
Yes.
we do.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, she
we
was
do.
entertaining. She gave me
Oh.
entertainment.
So entertaining this season. I just want to give her her flowers and give her her moment because
Absolutely.
I like I said, I wish it was almost anybody else on this cast that was on the receiving end of this situation. But I'm glad it was her so that at least it was somebody that was going to take this elimination as beautifully as Emily did.
It was it was just a masterclass at what you can do when you have some advantages but nobody knows about. It was beautiful. It was lovely. I loved it. I hate it for Emily, but I loved it for Sari. But Emily,
Yeah.
she did what she had to do. She played like you said, Brook, brilliant strategies begin from Emily and Rick to try to come up with this plan. But it's literally Emily's move. If this would have worked, this would have been totally Emily's move 100%.
Yeah.
Because she came up with it and she, rolled it out and it would have worked.
And
If-
it would have been something that would have actually like
It would have been
Emily
an
would have
all-timer.
had winner equity.
Yeah.
Like Emily would have had some win equity in this season where she didn't have any up until this point, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But
So she did what she did, and I was like, period.
We
Rhea, is
love
there
you,
something you want to
financial
add to
analyst
this?
Emily Flippin. We love you, big fan.
Rhea, do you want to add something about this tribal? Because I don't want to move on without nobody saying that.
Not that. It's a little. Oh, first of all, obviously, Emily, I like her. I really respect that she put up a good fight and really tried. Like it was too late. I do think that when you will talk about how messy she played, I think that unfortunately she created a bit of a reputation for herself with that. That made people just not take to her argument as much, except for Rick, who was also in trouble. So unfortunately, yeah, she messed up too much to be able to come back from this one, but I very much respect what she did. And I would have loved it for her if it had worked out as much as would have hated Sari going home. I did think it's a little meta, but I was like, okay, so there are two tribal councils. If Sari goes home here, they would have given it more of an edit, would they?
yeah.
Yeah.
You would have had all the sad music. You would have had flashbacks from Sari in every single bit of her seasons. She would have talked about Big Brother and how much she loves Survivor way more. And this is her home. And like the flashback from her letter with her dad. You would have gotten way more. I assume.
They also would have made this tribal council air second.
It would have been second. It would have been second. If Sari was going to go, it would have went second.
Yeah, and there's a history of like in Winners at War, they switched to which of the two was the most interesting to air last. And I believe with this season with the Blood Moon one too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, meta-wise, unfortunately, I wasn't as worried for Sari as I should have been.
Got you. That makes sense. But then we go to our next tribal council. To the one that they deemed more interesting. because well, we talked about it. Ozzy just I don't know. He just gave up his game. In all honesty, let's just be real. You telling Aubrey, you telling her everything, not just hey, I'm gonna vote you out. I hope you're not upset. But you literally named your whole game plan on her lap and told her exactly what your plan is and how safe you feel. Like you literally was like, we're all voting you out. We all agree. So just letting you know this is what's happening. And expected Aubrey just to sit back and do nothing about that. That was just ridiculously crazy of him to think that. And then even with Sari trying to help him by sending Jonathan to tell Joe to go ahead and tell Rizzo so Rizzo could tell Ozzy. And Rizzo's like, no, I'm not going to do that because he is truly a liability for us. And I ain't no reason to prolong this. Ozzy played himself. He played himself. He played himself. And he got. And I can't even be mad. As much as I want to be mad, I can't even be mad. It's just like, what were you thinking? And then you don't even use the idol. You had a dream. You had a dream the night before that you got voted out with the idol in your pocket. Somebody was trying to tell you, bruh, play the goddamn idol. Play it now. And you refused because you felt safe. You felt content enough to not only tell your game plan, but not use an idol. And I was blown away by that. But then I was like, watching him leave and the whole puppy dog eyes and so sad. What do you mean you're sad? You should be mad at yourself, bruh. Like this is your fault. 100%. You had all the tools and all the weapons and all the artillery to get through this. And you screwed up every bit of it.
And Ozzy thus becomes the first person to be voted out with an idol in his pocket twice.
Oh, yeah.
In all honesty, you could argue he's technically had it done to him 3 times because of South Pacific when he went to Redemption Island. So, I mean, granted, that was his move and he decided to do that on his own. Yeah. But even then, one could argue it's happened to him 3 different times. This is just the most disheartening thing I have ever seen happen to somebody on Survivor. Like, this will haunt this man forever. Yeah. This is going to haunt him. My dead idol will haunt you all. Like, really.
Oh my God. Now, where's Aura Mayari playing Survivor? That's what I want to see.
Put her on too.
Absolutely. And honestly, here's the thing about this. I love Ozzy. I love Ozzy dearly. Ozzy's one of my favorite Survivor players ever. I adore this man. I think he is wonderful. I think he is fantastic. I am not sad to see him go here. There is not a single bit of me that is sad to see him go. Because objectively speaking, and I love Ozzy, and I don't care if this is a hot take, he played a bad game on this season of Survivor 50. He did not play a good game.
I don't think he played a bad game. I think he played a really good game, and then he had a really bad episode. I think this is one of the biggest fall-offs in terms of game quality I think I've ever seen on Survivor, because it's just inexplicable. Like, what do you mean you're trying to do jury management with Aubrey? You got, like, the rule with Survivor is when you get comfortable, that's when you get taken out. Like, that's just where it is. Like, when you feel confident and cocky and, like, your place is safe and secure for the round, unless you have immunity, you're never safe, right? You need to be, I don't want to say on your toes, but, like, you need to be active and paying attention, because then you get complacent and you do stupid shit like this when you have people who are willing and wanting to take you out. Like, I feel bad for him in the sense of I know this is going to stick with him and linger in the
Yeah.
back of his
Yeah.
head, and I feel bad for him. But he did it to himself.
He did it to
he
himself.
he should not have talked to Aubrey. He should have played the damn idol. And in all honesty, he should have just double checked with Rizzo, and he didn't even do that. So
And like, let's be real and honest. What has Ozzy done this season that was not connected to Suri?
That's nothing. Everything he's done, Serena told him to do
voted
it.
out Angelina. That's it. Voted out Angelina. That is
Voted out
Okay,
Angelina.
Cool.
Okay.
I will give him that one move. That is
Yeah.
the only thing. I'm sorry. I love Ozzy. I love Ozzy so much. He did not play a good game this season, and he was dragged along to 8th place by Suri. And if that's what got Suri further in the game, cool. If that's what got Rizzo further in the game, cool. Like, but I can't sit here, unfortunately, like me personally, I can't sit here and say that I think Ozzy played a good game in this season because I don't think he did.
Here's the thing. I think Ozzy played a game. I won't say great game. I will say good game. He played a good game because he knew where he needed to align himself. He knew where he needed to place himself and be in order to get further in this game. If he would have came in here and just played Ozzy, he would have been gone pre-merge. But he knew exactly when to pull back. He knew when to talk, and he linked up with one of the smartest people in this game, and he linked up with Tari, and he listened. That's where I say he played a good game because he could have been Ozzy and just do it on my own. I don't need nobody. You can't tell me nothing. He listened. He placed himself in a better position this time around, where it wasn't just about Brook's strength. It wasn't about him being the provider for the camp. It wasn't about him just winning challenge after challenges. He listened to strategy, he processed the strategy, and then he followed through on the strategy. Even if it wasn't his own strategy, he followed through on that strategy. That's why I'll say he played a good game. But we also saw the flaws in his game is the second he was away from the person he hooked himself up with, he made error after error. Because even remember when Sari left the first time and to go on the island, the exile island, had to do the coconut thing, he was about to make the wrong move then. And it wasn't until Sari was able to come back and say, wait, hold on, no, that's not the right move. And he was about to do something that just wasn't the right thing to do.
He was about to blow up his game and hers.
Yeah. So it was like, yeah, he needed the guidance, and unfortunately, some people just need to guidance through a game. That's not a bad thing. They just need a little guidance. He just was able to place himself in the right place. That's why I'll say he played a good game. It was not great, and it was flawed for sure. But he played a much better game than he played before.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is his fault. And
it was his fault, though.
The quality of the game he played, he did it to himself. That is the end result here.
I'm just mad because I love Ozzy so much. Like I'm just pissed.
I'm pissed because
oh no, Lana, are you out?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm pissed because that was my next person. I still have two. Brook, on the other hand, Brook, I am going to give you all of your flowers and all of your props and all of your
good for you, man.
Wow.
Because Lewis is now out. I thought it was I seriously thought you were losing one this time, Brook. I was like,
I did too. I
said me and Brook might lose one today. It might be me and Brook. Brook might lose their first one, but then nope. Sari said, nah, Emily, it's on you. And so that took out Team Lewis and Brook. I will say, you are eating up this whole
I don't like
phase of this.
This feels like based on the edit, I likely have the winner on my team. If it's one of two people. Based on the edit,
based on what they're showing, absolutely.
Based on what they're showing, I likely have the winner on my team. But I'm not gonna get cocky because I have been in this position before with drafts where I have like a really good team and I have like a lot of people going into the end and then they just go back to back to back to back. I'm not getting cocky. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Look, me and Ree felt that in Australia. That happened to me and Ree in Australia. It was like,
I don't want to talk about Australia.
I mean,
Yeah.
you won, so no, you didn't.
No,
You
I
lost.
didn't.
No,
No.
Brooke won. Brooke
Brooke
won because
won.
Caleb. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
No,
Okay,
we got
to be fair though, the entire season I was like, oh, okay, I should have drafted Jackson instead of Caleb. I really thought Jackson was winning.
I was
And
too.
see, I did too, and that's why I drafted him. And
He should have. He should
But
have.
hey, I am happy. I agree with that. I am happy to still be in this race.
You are.
I am happy to have a podium placement at the very least. I think I still might have the winner.
Okay.
I think I still might have the winner.
Final three, maybe.
Yeah.
Deep,
Yeah.
you never know. I will
I
say,
am
based on the people that I think will make the final three, if you have one of the people in the final three, you're winning. Congratulations, Steve.
I'm going to say I am not putting away my unedited queen here. I feel like my
No.
underedited queen can still pull this
Oh.
off.
And I want to talk about that. Because I do think she can win. Absolutely.
Tiffany is officially the first person to improve on her best placement on this cast, by the way, because she got 8th on her first season. Congratulations, Tiffany.
It's what she deserves because she's playing a really fucking good game, and I knew she would. I'm so proud.
Mother needs to win immunity, but Mother's in a good spot. She could do her thing, and you know what?
She ain't going out next.
Over Rick, probably not. I think Rick
She's
is
not.
doomed.
She's not going out next at all.
Rick is doomed. Rick is doomed.
Oh yeah, you're
Rick is
losing
doomed.
someone next.
I think this is going to be the start. Brooke is going to lose somebody next, I think.
I
And
think
it's
Brooke is
going
going
to
to lose three.
And then
I
I'm
think Brooke
losing
is.
Aubrey.
I think Brooke is going to lose 3 people back to back to back, and then Lana's going to lose 1, and then we're going to have a final 3 with all 3 of us.
Okay. Oh, I
Okay.
like that for you.
Delusion.
Sari, Tiffany, and Rizzo in the final 3.
Okay.
Baby, I will eat that up.
Can I
I will
just
eat that up.
Can I just be an optimist here for a second?
Yeah.
We'll try it, Diva.
Thank you.
I'll hear you out.
I will give you the
Thank you.
benefit of my severe doubts.
Thank you. But no, so it's interesting to me. I genuinely think at this point there are 3 people left who can win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think it's Tiffany, Sari, and Rizzo
Aubrey,
based on the edit.
Aubrey.
I don't think so.
I think Aubrey, I do think Aubrey has a really good chance of coming back and winning this. I don't know though. I'm kind of like a little, but I think based on the way they are editing this show, I feel like they're trying to give Aubrey that late edit winner pick, that late winner edit. But I also, because I've been saying this whole time, I don't want to say Sari is going to win. I don't want to put that in my spirit, because if she doesn't win, I will be highly disappointed, and I don't want to disappoint myself. So therefore, I'm not going to say she's going to win. I'll just say if she does win, I will be extremely happy and I will lose my mind. But I'm not going to say she's going to win because I don't want my heart to be disappointed. So right now, I'm not saying Sari is winning this game.
But the edit is good.
The edit is really good. And that's what scares me too.
Yeah.
Because the edit is good and I don't want to get my hopes up that this is her time and this is the moment for her, because I do want her to have this moment. I want it with my whole... I've never been ready to lose a draft so badly in my life.
Oh, yeah.
But
if I lose because Sari wins, great. Like...
To have a Sari, Tiffany, Rizzo final 3 would like blow my mind, because it's like, in that case, I don't care who wins.
Yeah.
To have a Sari, Rizzo, Jonathan edit final 3, okay, sure, I don't mind losing like that. To have Aubrey, Sari, and Rizzo, okay,
and I think that's a pretty reasonable...
I wouldn't be mad at that either. But I feel like Joe can't be there. I don't need Joe there. I don't need Joe anywhere near my final 3.
Please.
Yeah.
Rick, sure, okay, if he make it.
He won't.
I don't think he will, but
He's dead.
Yeah.
Am I wrong for saying I kind of want Joe at the final tribal just to get third again? Am I
third place
wrong for
again.
that? Am I
No,
wrong
you're
for
not.
that?
Yeah, because I would like someone else to get paid more than him.
Okay, sure, but I also want him to have the realization that he's a two-time GOAT. I think that would be quite nice. I think I would quite enjoy
Poetic
seeing.
justice, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind
I guess.
of
Because honestly, Joe is the worst person to get on that front three
I
because he was
just-
not explaining himself well. I think everybody else left in this game will explain their game better than Joe.
Everyone else left in the game, I would like to hear their final tribal council speeches.
Yeah,
Honestly.
Yeah.
That's where
I don't want to hear
stand with
Joe's. I don't want to hear Joe's. But everybody else, I wouldn't mind hearing. But yeah, Brooke, you are killing this draft so far.
I'm not happy about it. This feels like
props
I'm
to
being
you.
set up for failure. I feel like I'm about to plunge off the side of the cliff.
Yeah, this is literally how I was for season 18 of Drag Race. I had all 4 of my people going into top 7, and then I lost 3 of them back to back to back. But I
Did you
also had the
win?
winner. I did, and I had the winner. So
It's just thankfully we're not doing points over here because points of it all would be crazy and I wouldn't have time
I
to
would
do
be
it.
eating
But
you up if it was points right
yeah,
now.
y'all you will respectively be eating us up in points. That's what I'm like, yeah, no points in this, just whoever picks the winner wins. That's how I
easier.
see things.
Yeah.
It's so much easier. But I'm very interested in what's going to happen next week because on the previews we hear a lot of names. We hear a lot of I don't trust this person is a snake, this a rat amongst us, and I'm like, who are we going to land on? What is it? What's going? Previews of this season has been giving us nothing, making us feel one way, and doing the complete opposite. So this time, I'm not even going to try to guess what's going to happen
Rick.
because it's a lot.
Joe! I hope it's Joe.
There
Okay,
goes the rocks.
Let's
There
be
goes the
100%
rocks.
honest.
Joe
If
goes.
Rick Devins
Can they
makes
go to
it
Rocks
out of
at
this
7?
next episode of Survivor, I will eat my hat. Okay, I will go full Francesca.
No.
I will quite literally eat my hat. Not this hat, different hat. But I'm just saying, Rick Devins will not make the final 5 of this season. It is fucking impossible. I can't. There's no way. There is no damn way. Unless this man goes full Ben and starts scouring the jungle for idols that haven't been there the entire season. I just
unless we find the Dolly Parton big titties. Here's an
Banjo idol. I don't know.
The Dolly Parton Double D immunity idol, which
Double
gives
D
you
advantage,
2
right?
immunity idols that can be used in the next 2 tribal councils.
The whole what's the advantage that they had where you could just walk away from tribal?
Safety without power.
Yeah.
So the Double D safety without power idol, just he comes up and he just walks away.
Right.
Who
Who would be a better celebrity to have that power, actually?
Safety without power.
Safety without power.
Oh, Kim Kardashian. Because she did nothing to have the power that she has.
People are dying, Kim.
She has no reason to have this kind of power, so she's safety without power for sure. Yeah. That would be.
No, I got it. The Mariah Paris Balenciaga. Get my pocketbook. I'm leaving. Safety without power.
The Viola Davis. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
The LeBron James. Grab my pocketbook. Let me go.
Yeah.
The Jennifer Hudson. Don't make me hit you with my pocketbook.
With my pump pocket. Don't make me hit you with my
pocketbook.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Yes, we are wild. But I don't know. I kind of agree. I don't know if Devins is gonna make it, but who knows? Who knows what the craziness that's happening on these seasons of Survivor? And we're gonna be right back here next week talking about it. So If you enjoyed the madness and the wildness that is going on here on this podcast here today, subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. Leave a comment. Who you think going home? Tell us what you think in the comments below. Who you think going home, and what should we call this next safety without power pocketbook leaving idol? What should we call it? Tell us in the comments below, whatever. Follow us on the channel if you haven't done so. Follow us on all of our channels. We truly appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel and all of our channels. Follow us on our audio podcast links. Join our Patreon. Follow us on all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can follow the four of us if you'd like. And don't forget to get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link is in the description below and to the right of the screen. And on that note, y'all, we're gonna get out of here because we've talked enough. We got nothing else left to say. But
I do, but
go ahead. What you got to say?
just that the edit of this episode sucked.
Period.
And on that note.
And that is on Ree. Period. Ree said the edit sucks. And we gonna say cheers, y'all. Bye.
Cheers.